So Marinakis is set to raid Marinakis for 2 players. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. I hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest news. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you're new. And don't forget to check out this football. It's huge giveaway. Nearly £10,000 worth of prizes. You can win hospitality tickets for upcoming Forest matches, signed frame shirts from Cells, from Murillo, signed frame Forest shirt. Like, the list is endless. Just go check it out. All for 39p. Yes, you heard me right, 39p. Scan this QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. So we got some transfer news for you, ladies and gents. This is weird as we're coming into March. The windows are open and well, let's talk about it. So Marinakis is set to raid Marinakis for potentially 2 new players. Now, these players are scouted by the likes of Real Madrid, Spurs, Villa, Newcastle, Man U. Loads of teams are in for them. They're the up and coming flavour of the month from Greek players. Both of them are very young. And I think this is a sign of things to come. It feels like gone are the days where teams are looking to recruit those 28, 27-year-olds who are in their prime and they're having to pay top dollar. And what we're looking for now is those players that can be nurtured and developed, picked up at a bit of a price. Either they go and kick on and become world beaters and continue in the club, or someone else wants to sniff at them and pay the big bucks for this for them going forward. So let's start with the striker. And yes, we do need a striker. This is a kid striker playing at Olympiacos. Right, let me try his name. My quarter Greek roots hopefully kicking in to play here. Charalampos Kostoulas. Now, he plays for Greece. He plays for Olympiacos, 17-year-old from Greece. He's gone through the Olympiacos B team and is now playing in the first team. Played 20 games. He's already scored 6 goals. Pretty tall at 6'1", not overly tall, but tall enough. Good in the air. I think he's very similar in his style to a young Chris Wood and could definitely work in a Nuno system. Now, as I've said, a lot of clubs are interested in him. He's like flavour of the month at the moment. But with Marinakis owning Olympiacos and Forest, if Forest were serious about their interest, then this is where we can see a deal come into effect. Because this is the whole design that Marinakis is trying to do with the Marinakis group. You got the Greek team, the English team, the Portuguese team, and he's of course trying to acquire a Brazilian team. And you're almost making a conveyor belt, a route to success for players. If they are shining in the Brazilian team he's trying to buy, maybe they get shipped off to Portugal or Olympiacos. And then if they're outshining there, then Forest can kind of nitpick it, because obviously right now the balance has changed and Forest have become the bigger of the 4 clubs. And that's no disrespect to the other ones, it's just a fact we're in the Premier League. Now, is he ready for first team football in the Premier League? I don't know. I don't think so. But what I like about it is he would come in as Chris Wood's understudy. In my opinion, I think Chris Wood, now coming at up to 33 or is already 33, we do need to bring a younger profile striker in. Now, I'm not saying this would be the only business that Forest do. There's still talks about Visser from Brentford and Forest going back in for him in the summer. But this is one option that I think Forest definitely need. A young buck striker who's got plenty of potential, who can come into the system and work his way. And as Chris Wood gets a little bit older, then we've got that natural replacement who's learnt off him. So I'm up for it. In terms of his valuation, it's hard to say. At the moment, he's worth a few million, but that's his transfer valuation on face value. It depends. If Forest want to go in for him, I'm sure there'll be a bit of a nice deal arranged between the 2 clubs. But if Forest don't want him, or he wants to go to another club, then obviously Olympiacos can potentially charge more. Now, I'm not saying we can get him for a £5, right? Because then you'd have all kinds of eyes looking at it, but it's one that can be done. So get your thoughts in on him. Would you take an understudy, or are you old school and just want like a 28-year-old who's ready for the Premier League? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's go on to the second player, and this is a CM/CDM for me, and his name is Christos Mouzakitis. I think that's about right. He is an 18-year-old, so looks like ancient compared to the striker, a year older than him. 5'10". Again, same route. He's been in the Olympiacos B team and broken into the Olympiacos team in 2024. He's played 16 games for them. He's scored a goal. And on top of that, he's also made it to the international stage already. Central midfielder, he's left-footed. Reminds me a bit of Warburton, as I like to call him, from Crystal Palace. He's very good in what he does, but just needs to bulk up a bit for me. And that's the area of concern I have for him making the transition from the Greek league to the Premier League. I think the physicality is a bit more, and he'd need to work a little workout in the gym. I can show him my routines, not a problem. Now, he's got a real good eye for a pass, good at crossfield balls, good at quick, intricate passes and things like that, and can marshal a midfield quite well. And this is a position we need desperately for me. Now, again, it's the same scenario. Is he ready to just step from Olympiacos straight into the Premier League? I don't reckon so, but it is a position that I've been moaning about for 3 years now. That midfield area still isn't it for me. And if we can get a young kid who can pass it around, if you're good enough, you're old enough, as the saying goes. We've seen Murillo step straight into the Premier League. Wharton, who I just mentioned, made the jump up from Championship. You had Gyökeres, who was playing in the Championship at Coventry and is banging him in left, right and centre in the Champions League and the Portuguese League as well. So it's not necessarily about that, and the risk is very small. Again, his valuation is about the same. It's 3 million on the face of it. But, you know, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It would take a lot more to move him than 3 million from Olympiacos, just like with the striker. And again, if there's some internal dealings that can happen at Forest and Olympiacos, maybe we could get him on the cheap. So I'm not against this whole conveyor belt system that Forest have got. I think it's very smart. But I think when it comes to the midfield, we need someone who's kind of ready-made and ready to go. I just don't think we've got the 6 sorted out. I think we need to play with 3 at the time being. I'm not going to go into a whole moan here, but to bring in an 18-year-old, unless he's the next big thing, I still think is a risk. I don't mind bringing him in on the cheap, develop him, work him into the team and the squad, etc. But I still think when it comes to the summer, this is a position that Forest have to take extremely seriously. We have not sorted it out since we've been back in the Premier League. So those are the 2 main transfer stories, and both of them are linked with a vast array of clubs as well. So watch out for those names. I expect to hear some links and transfer rumors and maybe even transfers when it comes to them in the summer. But Forest and Olympiacos, and in particular Marinakis, hold the golden key on this one. Because if we want him, we should be able to get him, or them, in the case of both of them. So what do you guys reckon about that? Do you still like hearing about transfer news in March? And don't forget, I've also got my predictions out for the FA Cup over on the second channel, the Footy Network. So make sure you check that out as well. We'll have a preview for the Ipswich match coming for you probably tomorrow now. So plenty of content still coming out. And if you didn't catch Grumpy Old Reds yesterday, go check it out. I'll leave it on the end screen. And are you feeling as flat as I am? I've had a little sleep, so I'm a bit better today. If you've enjoyed the content and haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new here. Check out this crazy giveaway from Football Prizes, and we'll see you later on. Come on, you Reds.